Welcome to Pressing Matters. I'm your host, Jamal Radio Raheem. Now, Pressing Matters is a show about vinyl where I ask vinyl collectors and music lovers 5 hard-hitting questions about vinyl and we see where the conversation goes. Now, this episode, I got Sade, and I'm not going to lie, this is one of my favorite interviews. This is somebody that I enjoy her content. I like her movement. Black girls love vinyl. I like the music choices that she has. She done put me onto some music. She even put me onto some stuff in this episode. One of my favorite interviews. Y'all check it out and tell me what y'all think. Peace out. So, what made you create Black Girls Love Vinyl? Like, what was the process that went into creating that, like, in general? Because that was initially how I found you, and I thought that was dope.
Yeah, okay. So at the time when I founded Black Girls Love Vinyl, which was back in 2018, I was living in Los Angeles and I just couldn't find a job in music. I was trying to like work at a label and stuff. But prior to that, I actually started my own music blog, which was called Glow of Sunrise. So I would like do these photo shoots with my records. And then as I was doing all of that, posting it onto Instagram, I was like, I want to find more women that look like me. And so I kind of birthed Black Girls through Love Vinyl through that. So yeah, that was really the main like reason of how I started. And that process was just really out of like self-expression, just wanting to see me do something creative while also contributing something as women where we can share our music taste and not in a way that's like so factual and
Yeah.
where it's more fun and lax and not like I feel like every time I talk about music with anyone or like a guy or something, it's always just about like, but did you know so and so was on this track or
Yeah.
like stuff like that. So I just wanted to find, like a space for us to really kind of like express ourselves through records. And I just feel like records have like, it's a statement piece. CDs are cool too, but like records just feel more empowering. And they do have like a better sound quality as well.
Yeah. I think because, like, as a dude, I'm like, man, there's no women in this space. Like anytime I've talked to people, I'm like, it's all dudes, and they're like, it gets annoying after a while because I'm like, all right, you know everything, cool. Like it's
Yeah.
not welcoming. So I was like, oh, that's dope. Like, and where I'm at, I don't see too many black people in general in the space. So I'm like, oh, there's black people in the space. I just have to like find them. That was like a good thing about social media. I'm able to
Yeah.
like find people in the space. But so do you know what your first vinyl purchase was?
I do. I actually have it too. So it was this Hiroshima record, Another Place. I actually got it when I was in college, not to like tell my age or anything, but like it was quite a while ago. And I got it from a record shop in Newport News, Virginia called American Oldies. They're not open anymore. But when I found this record, I also bought like an Irish record. I couldn't find it in time, but I bought this and an Irish record, and I really bought this solely off of the cover art.
Okay.
So I didn't know anything about it. I was just digging. Like my friend, we both study like science, and we were both into music, and we just went to that record shop and just dig for music discovery purposes. Really, I was also wanting to get into music production, so like I've had that influence too in my digging for the first time. And so finding something like this, and then it became like a gem, and I was like in love with this record. It's actually like an Asian band. I believe they're Japanese.
Mhm.
Obviously with Hiroshima, the name.
Yeah, I was going off the name.
I'm
I
like,
didn't want to bring that
obviously,
up, but
obviously. But they're also like American band. So like all their songs are, they're not in Japanese. I think they may have an album though that's in Japanese, but most of their albums are like American singing. So yeah.
so your first vinyl purchase was like something you just was like I like the cover.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I mean, even prior to that, like every like how I find out about music is through discovery. Like I just also just dig through websites like YouTube. I used to dig on YouTube for music. So I just use that same approach. Just need an outlet for real from school.
Yeah, that's a I'm just now getting into that point where, because I'm like, I got most of the ones I want, like for real.
Mhm.
So I just like, oh, let's go through like the $5 bin. Like this, I found some gems. I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
this has some stuff. Because like you'll find out like samples and stuff that you're like, oh, I
exactly.
didn't even know this was a sample. Like, so that's I'm
Yeah.
starting to do that now because like I don't have any records that I really want at this point. Like I'm like, all right, if I see it, I see it. But
Yeah,
I'm
and I need to be on a budget too. Like I was in school, like a broke college
oh yeah,
student, so like
yeah, college.
a
I
$3
know,
record, cool.
I know. So, do you have any vinyl that reminds you of like your childhood?
I have a bunch because my dad, I literally found out that he had like all these records in a coat closet back home. I'm like, what are you doing with these just hidden from us? But yeah, I actually made him like give me these records. So I'll show you. I wanted to like make sure I bring them. This Renee and Angela record.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
yeah. Obviously, like Angela Winbush, she is from St. Louis, from my hometown. So we heard a lot of this growing up on the radio too. So obviously this is like a staple childhood memory of mine. My dad loves funkadelic,
Oh,
so I got this actually from my grandpa, but yeah, so this is like an original funkadelic record that just influenced like my music taste. My dad loves like a lot of West Coast sounds and things like that. I know
yeah.
they're not from the West Coast, but you know, just that sound
They
and that
influenced the West
era.
Coast for sure.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm out
yeah.
here, so.
Oops. And then I have Anita Baker, of course. Like, I feel like she's a good transition for like after church. Like, when you're coming home from church, like, this is okay to put on that Anita Baker to get back into the groove. So, like, I remember this a lot from like when we would get in the car going back home from church. You know, you can't go wrong with Anita. And then I have this Kraftwerk record, which is a German band. So this is more like electronic music. And my dad was someone who like really explores different music, and like he was like sound out the instruments and stuff, like driving home in the car, like acting like he's in a band and stuff. And I've just got like really intrigued by them, and then I've explored electronic music on my own from
Mm.
Kraftwerk. So he used to make like at the time when LimeWire was around.
Oh yeah.
This was kind of one of those that he was like, download that for me. But yeah. And then I have this DJ Quick tonight again. I used to listen to like a lot of them, like Snoop Dogg and stuff. My first song that I learned was Gin and Juice. So I
Mm.
just think this is this is kind of in that pocket. My dad has like a bunch of just like he loves DJ Quick, so and I love all the Quick's grooves and stuff. So this is, even though this is just a 12-inch single, it just still stays in my childhood. And then I just had two more. I know this is a lot.
Oh, that's good. More to
But loose ends, because I feel like I just heard a lot of like this type of music too, like on like the Quiet Storm radio and stuff, like jazz radios and stuff. This was accepted along with Herb Alpert. So
mm.
these were like my childhood, especially in the car going to school. My mom made me listen to smooth jazz, which would put me to sleep on those long car rides. But of course, I love all of these records.
Yeah, you're definitely from Missouri. My family from Missouri, so
Okay.
that's how I'm like, yeah. It's like how my mama. That's my yep.
Well,
So
you get it then. Yeah.
yeah, and then I'm from California, so DJ Quick.
Okay. Yes. Yeah.
He needs more. I feel like he needs more love, to be honest.
Oh
They
my
don't talk about
God.
him.
Yes. Yeah.
They leave him out of like producer conversations. I'm like, y'all forget. DJ Quick is very important.
Very
Um,
important. Yeah.
so, do you have advice for anybody who's getting into collecting, buying? Because, yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think definitely the approach of music discovery. Like you don't have to buy everything new. You know, everything's so expensive now. Like the new records are now $40. They used to be $25, which even to me that was a lot because I remember going into Urban Outfitters and I would see like the
Hmm.
Outcast records and stuff, and I'm like, I'm not gonna buy that yet. But now those are priced so high. So I think just going in with an open mindset, like it's really supposed to be like you're supposed to feel like a kid in a candy store, really. Like go in the record shop and just like look and just what gravitates to you, like let the record literally come to you and explore everything. I spend like a long time in a record shop, so I like to go by myself. So that's another recommendation. Like if you're a person who really likes to like discover new music or just really want to like create time and space for yourself, go alone. It's cool
Yeah.
with friends too, but like I be in a deep, like I exit everything out. Like I'll have my phone up, like looking at songs on my phone before I go to the listening station, like all those things. But also I would say always check the record too, make sure it's the right one in there. I never personally had an issue, but sometimes like you might buy a dollar bin record and it's in there for a reason and it's not a good gem because it's scratched up. So
Yeah.
sometimes you do come across like quality issues and things like that. But it's meant to be fun. So like have fun. Obviously, buy things that you like. Don't feel impulsive. Like impulsive buying is something that I'm done doing. Because everything does not need to be in your collection on vinyl. Like it's a
Yeah.
lot of
Oh yeah.
like, especially some of these newer projects. I'm learning like I just don't need everything. So um, I just say, yeah, just go in with an open mindset. Be open to learning new music for real, because there's so much out there. It's a
Oh
ton
yeah.
of stuff.
Yeah, when I go to the record store, I used to enjoy going with people, but the more I go, I'm like, I don't like going with people because I don't like feeling like I'm rushed. Because I'm gonna
Hmm.
go through like everything, I'm gonna go through all
Yeah,
the sections and stuff like that. I'm gonna go through it all. And some people like they go in, they know what they want, and then they want to leave. I'm like, I'm gonna be here for like an hour or two. Like, I need you to get your headphones, like go scroll
yeah.
Instagram. I don't care. Like, I'm gonna be here. So I go by myself. I pull cash out. This has helped
Okay.
me a lot
Oh, I
because
never did that.
yeah, I pull cash out because that credit card, that's that credit card bill be crazy when you just I'm like, just slide it. And I'm like, whew. Because I learned my lesson. I just started doing this like the last couple of years. I went to Seattle and I spent like $400 and I didn't
Jesus.
even think. Like, I was like, just slide the card. And I got home, I said, dang, I could have waited like for some of these records. Because when you go somewhere, they have stuff that's local. And I was like, let me just pull cash out. Cash works every time. Everywhere it takes cash. So, um, have you ever got like a record that they gave you like the wrong record?
No, I never think I haven't, because I would be so pissed.
Oh, okay. That happened. Yeah, that
Especially
happened.
because I travel so much, I'd be like, no, for real.
Yeah, cause
I
you
can
be
just
at a whole bunch of locations. So I'm like, oh, yeah. I That happened to me. It happened to me. I got a well, it was a Diddy record.
Okay,
So
well, good.
let's just yeah. It was a Diddy record. So
Well, see
but
how
they
that
gave me
came
the
about.
wrong stuff. It's like
Mm,
it's like a it's not even a hip hop record. It's like a record that it doesn't work, number one. So it's just sitting here.
okay.
Like I'm about to have like my students actually like just color on it and I'm just gonna hang it
Yeah,
up on
yeah,
my
yeah.
wall. But they gave me the wrong record and I didn't check in time. So I
Okay.
can't even return it. Like it's also was in LA. I live in the Bay Area. Doesn't really
Okay.
matter. But
Okay.
yeah, that happened to me.
You know
So
what? I just thought of one. I do have this Janet Jackson record that it's the most it's reissue pressing, but yeah, they gave me it inside. There was just a double of the same,
oh,
like of the
same side.
A and
Okay.
B, yeah, same side. But it was free, so I was just kind of like, all
Yeah. You gotta take it like
right, I was just thinking,
That's why I used to be like, I'm never gonna open my records until like I want to listen to it. Now I just open it when I get it because of
yeah,
that
that's
though.
smart.
I'm like, mm-mm, they got me. and I'm like, I can't even do anything about this. I can't go back and be like, you gave me the wrong record because they're not gonna believe that.
That's true.
So I just open it like once I get home. I'm like, nah, nah. Um, so I always ask this question last because it's a hard question. I can't even come up with five myself, but if you're on a desert island and you only can take five albums out of your collection, what are those five albums and why?
Okay, so all right. I just it's like you said, it's a hard question. So because I don't even listen to just only five things ever, but I decided that it's just gonna be this box set.
Oh,
Although I have to take one album out of the Sade collection, her catalog. I would so it's six in here. So I think that so I will go with Diamond Life, Promise, Stronger Than Pride, Love Deluxe, of course. Lovers Rocks, I really love that album as well, but I would leave off Soldier of Love.
mm,
I know, I feel bad, and I really need to explore that album a little bit more and give it more life. Um, so yeah, I would take all five of those that I mentioned of Sade, just to kind of feel more connected with myself too, because that is my middle name, and
okay. I was thinking, I was like, is that a
yeah.
stage name? Like,
No, no, no. People always think that, and then they're like, "Oh, wait, that's really your name." I'm like,
yeah, that's a good choice though.
yeah,
Sade, you can't go wrong with that.
you just can't go wrong.
That's one of my biggest thing that I did this year that I'm happy is I play like because I have like a playlist that I just play, and I have students asking me it's songs off Diamond Life because that's the one I have on the playlist, and they're
Hmm.
like, "Oh, who is this? Who is this?" I got these little kids listening to Sade. I'm like,
Right?
Sade and Stevie Wonder. That's the only,
Yeah. Oh, yes.
I'm
Those
like
two
I
right
got it.
there.
It's like I won. I was like,
Yeah,
they
you
might not
did.
take anything else from me,
You're funny.
but they gonna listen to this, so you can't really go wrong with that, like
For
at all.
sure.
Is Sade your favorite artist, like in general, or
I would say so. Yeah, she's like that band is definitely top for me. I also have like the Diamond Life on DVD, like the concert, like the
uh,
live concert, and I used to watch that a lot in college. Um, and I was gifted kind of after that first record I showed you. Someone gifted me Diamond Life as well, like the original copy. So yeah, it's just she has been following me like along my journey, and like them as a
yeah,
band, of course. Um, yeah,
yeah. I was like, I learned last year that Sade was a band. I was like, what?
really.
Because I'm just thinking like, oh, because I'd never seen music videos or
Hmm.
live concerts. Social
Yeah,
media
yeah,
is how I
yeah.
found out. I was like, wait, this is the band? The band is Sade? I was like, oh, that makes sense. Like, just thinking about the music at that time, a lot of bands they go by like the lead singer's like name.
Exactly.
And I was like, didn't think about that. But I'm not one of them people who's gonna be like, oh, I know everything. I'm like, oh, that's
Yeah,
cool.
same.
It's a good fact to learn. Like, I was like, dang, I listened to this my whole life growing up and never knew that. So,
I mean,
um,
because she didn't put anything behind it. Because normally, it's like Melvin and the Blue Notes,
mhm.
or like and behind it. So yeah.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, that's a good choice though. Most people like they give. I learn a lot of people's tastes by that last question, so that's why like I ask everybody that one.
Okay.
Some people I've interviewed, I'm like, oh yeah, my age difference is when I'm realizing. Like I've interviewed people who are like 19 years old. I'm like, oh yeah, you are gonna have like future. Like that makes sense.
Forget.
So it is good. Like that's how I'm like, oh, we're around the same age. That's what I just realized. And by your choice, I was like, we're around the same age. So that's good. Do you have anything you want to like say before we get up out of here?
Um, I don't know. I really didn't. I'm like, do I have any last words? I mean, it's the end of the year. I'm kind of preparing for the holidays. I don't know. I'm listening currently to Samara Joy
That's a great
behind
album.
me. So just, staying in the spirits and stuff. I do want to kind of share this one last record before we like jump, which is a John Hassel record. I don't know if you can kind of see it,
I can see it.
but
Yeah.
yeah. It's really like experimental music. I don't know if you heard of him,
No, I
but
haven't.
I recently discovered him probably like 2 or 3 years ago now. And I mean, he passed away, but I really do love this. Like, if you're a person who loves like music to picture, like I think he just really it's. I wouldn't say it's not like a loopy or what am I trying to say? It's not like psychedelic or anything like
Okay.
that, but it still fits within like that kind of jazz genre. But
I'm gonna look
I just
him up.
wanted to, yeah, I wanted to share that because I really do like. There's a couple songs on here that I think could be sampled as well if they haven't already. But
That's the thing that I can always take from like something. Oh, that's one of the first thing that shows up when I look them up. Stuff you can sample. I'm like, I don't even
oh,
produce either.
really?
I don't even. I have a whole playlist like songs I would sample. I'm like, I'm not a producer. I don't plan on
Yeah.
being a producer, but I'm gonna look that up.
Yeah. I like music where I can kind of put my thoughts to what's happening in a song. So like I like more instrumentation and things like that. My record collection is evolving to more Japanese genres too. So um,
Mm,
I've added recently a Japanese record. Like their records are more expensive, but I feel like where I am evolving with my music taste, like it just fits for me. So I've just been kind of like adding Japanese and gospel records lately.
mm.
So yeah, that's kind of where my evolving has been going towards, and just like some hidden like black women gems and stuff too, that kind of didn't have their stories being told as much. So and they don't have like huge catalogs. So I've been adding more of their records and hoping to like give them more life in the new year on the platform on Black Girls Love Vinyl too.
That's dope. That's dope. But thank you for being on. Um, I really do appreciate it. You're one of the accounts that like I was like I gotta like somehow figure out a way to make this happen. So I really do appreciate you being on. And this has been Pressing Matters. I've been your host Jamal Radio Rahim, and we'll catch you next time.